Well, power's been out for, I think, a couple hours. It's starting to get light, but hopefully it's gonna not rain. I got that slab to pour this morning. A lot of ifs, and I can't get any rain with that slab because a ton of water comes off that roof. And if it ever poured, it wouldn't be good at all. Well, it looks like there's a storm coming right now from down south coming this way. So, and it's raining, as you can see. So I'd say concrete's gonna have to hold for a little while because we can't take the chance of a downpour and all of that roof dumping onto that slab. There won't be any concrete left. Lovely morning. Power went out at 4:30 and it's still out. It's like after 8. So it must have hit something. Well, we decided not to chance the concrete pour today, so we'll, because if we got a heavy downpour, that concrete will all get washed out. So we're gonna just wait, see what happens, and then maybe tomorrow we'll do that. So I got everybody working on different things. The power's back up, so we should be good for that. Not everybody came. Let's see. Tyler's haven't come. Let's see, plaster didn't come, missing one carpenter, rainy day. Given the lovely weather that we've been having lately, on and off showers, rain, thunderstorms, everything blowing in, I think we'll talk about hurricanes. More rain coming. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to talk about hurricanes today. Now, I know anybody who has anything to do with, you know, Florida, Bahamas, Caribbean, hurricane season starts June 1st, technically ends December 1st. So it's a 6-month period. They can happen outside of that period, but generally they don't. If you know all this, then it'll probably be boring. But hurricanes actually start in the Sahara Desert, and the winds come off the Sahara, and then they start their sort of formation. And as the winds come out over the waters over Africa, determines whether they're going to start to turn into something or not. Like right now, there's 3. There's Florence, which is got a little bend in it today, but by the time it gets below Bermuda, it's going to be a major hurricane. Then there's a 80%er behind that, and I think a 45%er behind that. I'll put those up after this. But they had already predicted that September was going to be a busy month. And so when those storms get out in the ocean, what they do is, if you've ever seen like a little dirt devil type thing, or you know, been in a field where the grass starts spinning around like that, basically it's something like that. It's spinning and it's sucking up warm water. Now that water, this is one of the interesting things, that water has to be 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it's down to 100 feet. So that's a lot of ocean that has to be warm. If the water isn't warm enough, it can't get enough energy to stay in its formation and grow. Which is why when they come along, and if they head up the coast of New England, that cold Atlantic water tends to make them fizzle out, tends to. If it's been a warm year and they've got enough energy, they can last a little bit longer. But without that, that's one of the factors, and there's so many. I mean, I don't even know how you predict hurricanes, because, okay, if there's a cold front, I guess, coming out of the U.S., that would make it veer, or if the upper level winds come through, it can shear it off. But it's something that everybody in these climates, you're always watching for, keeping your fingers crossed. You've sort of made all the preparations you can. Like our house has shutters, so worst comes to worst, I can shutter up the house, close it up. If it was a bad one, I'd have to go onto the mainland, because on this island, well, a lot of times the water comes off the Atlantic side if it's really bad, and will go over the island and land on the harbor side. I think it was Irene or Sandy. It took days before the water receded off the causeway that comes onto Cupid's Key. Well, that was very rude of the battery. I used it, I guess it was dead. Used it as much as I could, so I just went and got another one. But, so hurricanes are just part of life here, just like snowstorms are in other places. Snowstorms aren't quite as deadly, generally speaking, but you do, on hurricanes, get advance warnings, and you can watch and make preparations. And you need to watch and make preparations so that you can, have enough water stockpiled, or foods or whatever, because if you did get hit with a hurricane, you can't be guaranteed it's just a little one. It can knock out power for days, weeks. I mean, look at the islands to the south. A lot of them are still devastated. And, it's going to take years before they can get back up. So, when you make, you're thinking your plans, you've got to keep that in mind. And September tends to be generally the August and September are the better chances of hurricanes forming and coming this way. October, the water is starting to cool a little bit, and it's lower odds. November has even lower odds because it's getting cooler. But like I said, it doesn't always have to be a hurricane that can cause problems. Years ago, not that many, there was one called Noel that came by, and it was just a tropical storm, and it dumped 15 inches of rain. It took a long time because parts of places where there were ponds and roads got flooded. There was nothing you could do about it. So hurricanes are just part of what is, but you have to, make preparations. And nobody can tell you exactly, like if you're planning a vacation, oh, don't go on the 21st to the 30th of September because there's going to be a hurricane coming. It's impossible to predict. They're a little bit more predictable than, say, like a tornado. A tornado, they know, okay, the conditions are right, but all of a sudden a tornado can just pop in out of nowhere. So on the bright side of things, at least a hurricane, you've got some advance warning. It's not like it just pops out of nowhere and it's like, oh, God, crap. So that tornado thing I don't think I'd like that too much. I don't like hurricanes too much either. But at least you've got some advance warning. You can make preparations. So June 1st to December 1st. Every year. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I had some people who are big fans of this page they're staying down in Winding Bay. Yeah, Winding Bay. Stopped by, got some phone calls, had some great chats. They've been around a while, so they know a lot of the things that I was talking about and fully understand. This is a whole different world here, people. They know that. Great to see them. And, anybody who's coming by, you want to get together, stop in, say hi, get together for a coffee, whatever. Be more than happy to.